Hi, welcome back. I'm Brandy Schmidt. I am the owner and instructor at Repose LLC. You can find us on Facebook and now on OCTV. Thank you for joining us today. We're having a basic yoga class. This is for all levels of practice. If you've never done yoga before, you're in the right spot. I just like to remind everyone that you need to honor your body's limitations. If there's anything that we show you or offer, suggest, and it's just not right for you, sit it out. Do a posture that is right for you, or just do part of a posture. My intention and the real heart of Repose was just to get everyone in the community, no matter where you're at in your physical life, in your age, in your capabilities, that we get just a little more movement and feel better about ourselves and leave feeling that we're better than when we came. So thank you for joining us in Leonard, Michigan. I hope you enjoy the class. Good morning. Welcome to Repose Yoga with me, your host, Brandy Schmidt. And today we're going to start with a gentle practice. If you watch our next episode, this can be a warm-up for that, and we'll be a little more active. So happy spring. I hope that everyone's enjoying the weather starting to break, and it's been cold. So make a little comfortable space for yourself in your home. Clear any distractions, clear the area, maybe light a candle or have some kind of fragrance to help you take a few deep breaths and settle into your seat today. Soften your face, close your eyes. Just a reminder that we tend to want to get lazy because we're trying to relax here, right? But a lot of us will tend to curve the back and dump in. We want to take the pressure off of that low back. Nice, strong, tall, straight spine, long neck, just softening the face and eyes is what we're trying to do here. Let the shoulders be heavy and fall down. And then if you are familiar with mudras, some of the hand symbols, and they all have different meanings. We won't go into that today, but you might do a mudra here. Or palms can just be open. And the reason we do palms open towards the sky is to receive, be open to new ideas, be open to listening, receiving, rather than talking. And when I say talking, I mean that internal voice that some of us have going all the time in the mind. And this is one of the first steps to this meditation and breath work. The art of trying not to think means that we are not trying to process the thought. It doesn't mean that a thought doesn't come to us. It's the observation of thought. It's the listening. If you've ever had a moment where you go, where did that thought come from? What made me think of that? Sometimes the world or our internal self or whatever you believe in is trying to send you a message. And in order to hear that and process it and understand what it might mean for you, you have to come into a place of silence, shutting off the busy, taking a few deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, really filling the lungs and belly. You're going to feel the chest lift up towards the sky and slowly exhaling through the nose. Letting it deflate and then just pulling that navel in a little bit more towards the spine on that last bit of exhale, continuing that breath in and out. Once you feel that you're in a state of calm and you're ready to bring some movement, we're just going to bring gentle movements in today. I always like to start with a nice big stretch overhead, inhaling to reach the arms up towards the sky, gazes up towards the hands, and exhaling the hands down to the heart center. Let's do 2 more together. Inhaling, reaching up nice and wide overhead. Just feeling the lungs and shoulders expand, and exhaling down to center. One more. Allow the hands to come down to the sides. If you've been sitting this way for a long time, we like to switch it up. This is going to even out your left and right side. Shake it out for a moment. Whatever leg you extended first, for me that was the left leg, is going to be the first one you bring in to reverse that seat this time around. When you're settled back into the seat, you're going to inhale again, arms come overhead. On the exhale, that left hand is going to come across that right knee. Right hand is going to sweep behind you, coming into a twist, looking over the right shoulder. Continue with that deep breathing. When you're ready to inhale again, start to revolve to center. Arms are going to rise with that revolution. Really fill the lungs with that breath. Exhale, right hand to the left knee. Left hand comes behind you, looking over that left shoulder. Deep breaths. And again, when you're ready to inhale, arms start to rise as you turn back to center. Exhale, hands to the heart. And then let the hands come down to the knees. This time you're going to hold the knees. We're going to go into seated cat and cow poses. So if you're familiar, cat and cow is usually when we're in a tabletop position and we're arching the back on the inhale, filling the lungs, and exhaling as we round in and tuck the chin. We're going to do the same here in the seat. So holding those knees, start to lean back. When you're ready to inhale, pull the chest forward, head looks up, deep breath in. And on the exhale, rounding the back, starting to lean, tuck the chin in towards the chest, stretching into the shoulders. A few more to your own breath. Inhaling up. Exhaling down or back. In any version of cat and cow is just a really good way, not only to warm up the spine, it feels good, but we're starting to get some motion, small motion into the body to get the blood flowing. I really like to start with more seated practice. We'll come up to center when you're ready. On these chillier mornings, you'll notice I'm able to be more covered up and my sweater's not in my way because I'm sitting down. So if it's chilly where you're at, or it's a chilly morning and you're playing this on repeat, this is something you could have your socks on, you could have your sweatshirt on, you can be comfortable in today's practice, but we're still going to include a lot of movement and working from the floor today. So you'll want to make sure you have a blanket or something for those knees. Sometimes they come out onto your harder floor off your mat, and it's nice to have a blanket or to cover up at the end of the practice. So now that we've warmed up the spine, we've got some movement, just take a moment to rotate the shoulders or maybe the elbows to get a little more range, depending on what's tight today. So I always like to say, just close your eyes and feel into today's body. Where are we tight? Are our hands tight? Are our feet tight? Is it our shoulders? If it's our neck, take a moment to just do some neck rotations here. And in a lot of these slower practices, I say it's not my practice, it's your practice. It's about what you need today, and anything I offer is just a suggestion. So listen to the body, take those moments to do what you need. Start to extend the legs out when you're ready. And for me, that tightness is in the feet, so I'm going to take a moment to just point the toes and then flex the feet back towards the body, because I'm feeling tight in my calves and thighs today. So this might be a nice one for you to take a few moments to do. And if that's not where you're feeling tight, you might still be working out the neck or the shoulder here. When you're ready, if you have a blanket, you might want to roll that blanket up. We're going to put it under the knees. You don't have to have that, so that's just an option for you. And what that allows is us to work through the tightness through the back side of the body, because this is one of the deepest stretches in yoga. We're going to just do a forward fold, but this is going to stretch from the tips of the toes all the way through the crown of the head. So having a slight bend in the knees makes it a little bit less intense, or you could be sitting on the blanket to allow that pelvis to tilt forward is what that allows. Inhale, reaching arms overhead. Nice deep breath in, and exhale to softly fold over those knees wherever you're able to go. Hands are going to come down. There's going to be some of you that back is really tight and it might look like sitting up for you. And if that's the case, just bring the chin down, get as much stretch out of this as you can, and breathe deeply. If you're able to go a little bit deeper, allow yourself to. I just don't want you at home to think that whatever I can or can't do is where you should be at. Just go where your body allows. Try to pull those toes back towards the body, flexing the foot if you're able to. You'll feel it be a little more intense when you do that. Try to hold it. Another breath here. Inhale to rise, walking those hands up the mat towards the body. From here, you can move that blanket out of the way and bring that right foot in towards the thigh. Adjust the seat here. Looking forward just towards the left toes. We're going to rise again with a deep breath in, reaching overhead. And exhale as you lean over just that left leg. Notice how it's different than the full fold with both legs out in front. Bring the chin down again. As you start to relax into that, you might reach a little bit further. You may or may not be able to reach the toes of that left foot. And on your next inhale, start to look up, release the foot, walk hands up the leg. And we're going to switch to the other side, but we're going to take one stop on that journey. So let that right foot stretch out. Lengthen, shake it out if those legs need a little movement, and then take a nice deep breath. Hands come to the side, chest rises, look up towards the ceiling. And you're going to come down onto the forearms, one side at a time. And again, deep breath in, belly lifts, chest fills with air, head comes back. Few breaths here. And then inhale, you're going to rise onto one hand at a time. Your head is going to be the last thing that comes up. And then we'll switch sides, bringing that left foot in towards the thigh. Adjust the seat. Nice tall spine. When you're ready, inhale, arms overhead, gaze is up. And exhale to bow over that right foot or leg. If that knee needs to bend, allow it. And exhale to bring that chin down towards the chest a little further. And again, if you can reach it, you might grab the foot here. We're still warming up, so if the body's tight, just let it go wherever it's able to. Don't force anything. These are nice stretches to do early on in a practice to see how tight you are, how far you're able to go. And then you do a little bit of a warm up, a little bit of work, and you come into these poses again to see how it may have changed from the beginning. So these reaching poses are good measurables for that, to see if we're able to relax, loosen, lengthen. On your inhale, peek up at the foot, walk the hands back up the body. Bring that left foot forward, shake it out again if needed. I like to just point and flex those toes. We're going to do that leaning posture again. Inhale, nice tall spine, hands are to the floor beside you. And on the next breath, start to come down onto those forearms. Inhale, belly and chest lift and fill, head falls back. Couple breaths here. This time, we're going to come all the way down onto the back from here. So take a moment, start to relax one side of the body, let the shoulder come to the floor and then the other. Inhale, arms reach overhead, pointing into the toes. Stretch the entire body, maybe walk those feet away a little bit. Deep breath in, feel the belly rise. Slow breath out, let it relax. One more deep breath in, belly and chest rise and fill. Exhale, this time hands come down to the sides. Relax the feet. Maybe you take one more deep breath in and out here before bringing the feet to the mat. Knees rise. You're going to tilt that pelvis in a little bit. You're going to lift the bottom slightly. This is a nice place for some height of a blanket. You might need to adjust whatever blanket you have. And again, this is not required. I just find it helpful, especially the first time trying this next one. And again, once you have it there, tilt the pelvis up, go a little bit further. Hands are down for support. Check in with those feet. Deep breath in, the arch of the back lifts. Exhale, you're going to press into the floor. Start to lift the head and shoulders just an inch or two off the floor. Then the chin comes in. I can see my knees now. Start to extend one leg at a time. We're going to really work the belly here today. You might be thinking, well, that's not relaxing. But it's one of these subtle exercises. And then focus on breathing. Wherever those legs can go, start to work the core. It's okay if you're shaking, you're working muscles you might not work all the time. And those hands are there for support. 2 more breaths. 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, bring the knees into the chest, relax the head and neck back down. Bring the knees into the chest and just rock side to side here. This is another one of those exercises that you can do almost anywhere, maybe in your bed, even in the morning, and challenge yourself, starting with 3 deep breaths, Maybe working your way up to 5 deep breaths, allowing yourself to come back here into a resting pose at any time, and then trying again. We're going to do that 2 more times in today's practice. We'll just do short ones, 3 big breaths, but something to continue to work on at home. Bring those feet back down. They're there for support. And if you're really struggling, you might just do 1 foot and lifting the head and trying it that way. But the full expression is trying to get both feet up off the ground. When you're ready, deep breath in. Exhale, flatten the back. Chin starts to come towards the chest. Extend the legs. And bring the knees in when ready. One more breath in. Exhale, feet to the mat. Palms down, deep breath in, arch the back. Exhale, press into the floor. Head and shoulders slightly lift. Bring the legs into it. Maybe you try to go a little lower to the floor. Notice how that changes the challenge too. So play with that as well. One more breath. And bring the knees in. Feet come down to the mat again. You're going to move that blanket if you chose the blanket. And what that blanket allows you to do is just to support the tilted pelvis to help you keep those legs up. So you can play with the height of that blanket or using it versus not using it. And then we're going to switch, meaning we're going to rotate onto the belly and do a little work on the back side. So when you're ready, arms overhead. Bring that right arm and foot over as you start to rotate onto the belly. Make whatever adjustments you need to come back onto the mat. Peek up, take a few deep breaths looking forward. This is called Sphinx pose. We're just going to loosen up those hips and the low back here. Breathe into it. Notice if you're clenching, try to let it go and relax. Try to relax the shoulders down. And on your next exhale, melt back down, walk the elbows away, the forehead comes all the way to the floor. From here, both hands are going to come down to the sides. And if you're able, and I'm going to remove the sweater just for visibility for you guys at home. But again, this is a practice you can do all cozied up. You're going to reach behind the back and try to interlace the fingers. If you can't interlace the fingers, you can't draw those shoulders back, just reach for the opposite forearm or wrist. Take a deep breath in, and on that inhale, you're going to start to lift the shoulders and hands up towards the sky and lifting the head forward. If this is all you can do today, then just do this. We're going to hold this for several breaths. But if you have a little more to give, try to lift the feet off the ground. We're going to be working the glutes here, working the low back. You're working the whole body from the back side, though. Deep breaths. Feel the body rock with the exhale and the inhale. And melt it all down to the floor. Keep those arms behind the back. Going to relax the shoulders. When you're ready, we're going to do that again. Inhale, start to pull the shoulders back, arms lift, head rises, feet lift up off the mat. One more deep breath in. Relax it all down. Just like the opposite pose we just did. This is one you can build up. You can start with a few breaths and build up from 3 to 5 to 10. When you're ready, we're going to do one more of those. Deep breath in, start to draw the shoulders back, arms lift, head rises, feet come off the mat. Last breath. Melt it all into the mat. Relax the shoulders, release the hands this time. From here, the right hand is going to come back, right foot lifts. Pull that right foot in towards the body. You're just holding it in. Stretch the top of the thigh here. Go ahead and release that foot and arm, and we'll switch to the other side. Left foot comes up. Left hand reaches. Relax it down. When you're ready, release. And you can just relax into your mat from here. Take a little yoga nap, a slow start to the morning, but hopefully you've got that blood flowing and you're feeling things and you're finding ways to strengthen in these subtle, small movements. You can start from anywhere. You can use your props. There's no excuses or limits to what you can do. It's just taking the first step to get started. Have a beautiful day, and we'll see you in the next episode. Namaste.
I used to think news is news. It's all the same, but it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
Welcome to Oxford Community Television. We are proud that our 4 communities continue to choose local programming, local news, sports, community issues, familiar faces, celebrations, and commitment to each other. Welcome to Oxford Community Television.
Thank you for coming today. I hope you enjoyed your practice. Leaving every day a little bit better than when we started. I hope to see you next week. Join us on our next episode. Have a good night. Namaste.